I'm Casey Smith, a naturalist at Preservation Parks.
And I'm Saundra McBrady, also with Preservation Parks. And today, Casey and I are going to show you how to take yourself kayaking.
So before you even get out on the water, you want to make something called a float plan. You want to tell people where you're going, what time you're going, and what time you plan on coming back. You should also check a map of the area or make sure you know that body of water really well. Check for low-head dams in the area. Here in Central Ohio, we have quite a few low-head dams. They can be very dangerous. Make sure you know the water level. Too high or too low can also be dangerous. And you want to know the laws in the area. Are you allowed to paddle on that body of water at any time? Only in certain areas? So make sure you know your float plan before you even get out on the water.
I'm going to show you some basic items to have with you, either on your body or in the kayak as you go on your trip. You'll want the life jacket, and you'll wear that on your trip. You'll also wear a hat to shield yourself from the sun, sunscreen. Let's see. You'll want dry bags to make sure that your keys and your phone are safe from getting wet. And you'll want a water bottle so you don't get dehydrated. I also have a first aid kit and a whistle. Those are some things to have with you. I'm going to show you some basic paddling strokes so you can navigate the kayak where you want to go in the water. Gripping your paddle. So to grip your paddle, you use both hands and hold the paddle a little wider than shoulder width apart. And you can check your grip by putting the paddle on your head, and if your elbows make a right angle, you have a good grip. You'll also want to make sure that the power side of your blade, if it is facing you. You can also adjust the angle of the paddles on the angle of the blades by pressing a button and repositioning it. The forward stroke is the most basic stroke and the one you'll use most often. To do the forward stroke, you'll want to twist your torso, put the blade of the paddle into the water, and pull the blade towards you, and lift the blade out of the water at your hip. You're turned the other direction. Your torso is turned the other direction, which is the perfect position to put the blade in on the opposite side. At your feet, draw the water towards your hips and lift out. And you're paddling. You're doing it. But you might want to slow down at some point or even stop your canoe. To do that, you'll just put the blade into the water and gently draw the water away from you. If you're moving fast, you'll want to do the same thing on the other side. Put the blade in the water and draw the water away from you. The reverse stroke is very similar to the forward stroke, but of course, in reverse. So you'll turn your torso, put the blade of the water into the water at your hip, and push the water towards your feet. And then you're turning your torso, and you're in the position to do the other side. Put the blade in your water at your hip, and move it towards your feet. When you're twisting your torso, you're using your core muscles, which is much more efficient than trying to paddle using just your arms. That will tire you out. As you're paddling forward, you might find that your kayak veers off course a little bit. And for this, you'll need a correction stroke. And you can use a sweep stroke to correct course. So if the nose of your kayak is veering off to the right, you can use a sweep stroke on that very same side to correct course. And a sweep stroke is similar to a forward stroke. You put the blade in the water at your feet, but this time you draw the blade away from the kayak's edge, making a rainbow shape or a C shape. And that's how you turn. The sweep stroke has much more turning power than the forward stroke. Those are some basic strokes, and you can get the hang of it by just paddling in the water around in circles until it becomes second nature to you. And it will just take a little bit of practice to get these basic strokes and get out on the water. Of course, if you're interested in making your kayaking skills to the next level, consider taking a course. And you can contact REI or your local paddling retailers, or visit the website of the American Canoe Association for opportunities.
When getting into your kayak, you want to make sure you keep your center of gravity low, and we're going to use the rule of threes. You want to try to have 3 points of contact on that boat at all times, and you want to make sure your boat is floating in a couple inches of water so that you don't scrape the boat on the bottom. So I'm going to put 1 foot in. I've got my hands on the sides, and then I'm just going to sit down as quickly as possible and get my other foot into the boat. Grab my paddle and I'm ready to go.
Here you can see Casey doing a lovely forward stroke, twisting her torso, putting the blade in at her toes and lifting it out at her hips.
When your paddle trip is done and you're ready to get out, one of the easiest things to do is to use your paddle as an outrigger. So we're going to put the paddle behind your body, and you can brace one end on the ground. Then you're going to use your body strength, lift yourself up onto the paddle, get 1 foot out, remember those 3 points of contact and stay low, and then you stand up, bring all of your stuff with you, and you're safely out of the water.
Kayaking is a great way to get in touch with nature. It's good for your body, and you can maintain social distancing. So do the things that we shared in this video. Take your kayak out and enjoy the river.